Hey there, I'm Will Brown with Will Brown Interiors, and I'm so excited to share with you the incredible story of the Rand Mansion in St. Louis, Missouri, and how the current homeowner came to be the proud steward of its rich history. Now, let me start by saying that this isn't your average historic home. The Rand Mansion is a true gem of St. Louis architecture, boasting classic Georgian Revival style details and gracious interiors that are sure to take your breath away. Now, what really sets this mansion apart is its fascinating history. Built in 1912 for the wealthy Rand family, who made their fortune in manufacturing shoes, it quickly became the hub of high society in St. Louis. From extravagant parties to famous and sometimes presidential guests, the Rand Mansion gathering was one invitation you always wanted to accept. So if you're a lover of history, design, or just plain classic beauty, you won't want to miss our video tour of the Rand Mansion. Trust me, it's an experience you won't soon forget. So welcome to the main living room here at the Rand Mansion. So I just wanted to point out a few things that I think are of interest, starting with these chairs. Now these chairs were reimagined by relacquering these in black and then also redoing all the upholstery, both front and the back side. It really brought a new personality and new life to these chairs. Now, you can't come into this room and miss these screens. Now, this was actually bought from an estate sale, and there was actually more panels that actually could fill the entire wall, but we didn't want to cover this art, and you'll actually notice that there's quite a bit of art in this home, and this is a particular contemporary artist. So what we ended up doing was kind of creating this sort of split where we anchored both sides of the room with the panel, and we took the middle section and we're using it elsewhere. Okay, so let's take a look at these sofas. Now, I knew in my head I wanted the layout to be symmetrical. That is one of the hallmarks of kind of this Georgian Revival style, is really about symmetry. So I really wanted to create twos and twos and twos, which you'll notice with the two chairs, two sofas, and then the two chairs again. I did this house a couple of years ago, and guess what? We were in the middle of the pandemic. So I had to be really creative with how I solved furnishing this place, right? So I went to a couple of consignment shops, I went to thrift stores, I just went everywhere where I could. I found these two and I just were like, yes. So these were originally like 90s style with big stripes. So what I really had to tune into was the beautiful line and the arch in the back. And then thinking about some of the period appropriate details, which is what you're getting with the fringe at the bottom. So bringing in this sort of sumptuous velvet is what we used, and this sort of gold tone, and then that really accentuated sort of the high shine that you're seeing there. So if we swing around, you're gonna see a couple of really modern style chairs. One of the things I like to do in my design is not to be too period. I don't want you to feel like you're stepping back in time per se. So we got these modern profile chairs with a little bit of the high detail around the perimeter. And that really adds a nice modern style to this. Let's take a look at this bar cart. This is a pretty interesting piece. Now, we got this in upstate New York during a buying trip, and the amount of detail on this is pretty incredible. There's a lot of inlaid detail. I had never seen one with a 3-tiered level and this larger size. So it gave us ample space to really lay out all of the barware that we wanted and to have some extra ready. So for any impromptu gathering that the homeowner might have. So this living room is so large that we could do private conversation areas. So over by the fireplace, the homeowner actually already had these matching sort of crescent love seats. So I had this reupholstered in this pinstripe flannel that you're seeing here, just to add a little nice masculine flair. And then we added these really beautiful handmade kimono pillows, as well as a couple of Fortuny fabric pillows to really add the richness to this. Now let's take a look at the curtains, because I think, you know, when you have a room of this scale, these are really tall windows. These are like 12 feet tall. So you notice we have the Greek key detail, and this is on all the trim edge, lead edge of all the curtains, and it just adds this formal but sort of handsome, tailored effect throughout all the curtains in this room. So what I'm really liking that has happened here is that we have set up a music zone here. We've set up a private conversation area here, and then we also have the formal seating over there. So it's 3 zones, all within the larger context of our living room. And to me, that's how you really create a sense of coziness and intimacy in a large space, is really zoning it out and giving each area a purpose. Now we're entering into the sunroom area. I love this room because it's so light-filled. This particular green is just really perfect to complement all of the greenery that we have in here. This also harkens back to the types of greenhouses that you would see during that era. This room is where you would kind of come, take care of your plants, and just kind of relax, read, kind of just be in a sort of a moment of peace. And a couple of things I wanted to point out in here, these beautiful wingback chairs, these are rattan, and we had them reupholstered, both this one and this one, which the homeowner already had, but we combined and sort of complemented all the fabrics together so that they really complemented each other. I think it's a wonderful place to kind of sit and relax and just, you know, take in the view, enjoy just the scenery and the peace. Welcome to the billiards room, place for gaming and entertaining. And that was what they did back in the day. If you look over here, this is actually an original feature to the home. This is a built-in bench that is at the same level as the wainscoting around the entire room. So it's a place you'd sit and kind of wait your turn to play. So if you aren't playing pool, but you're still in the billiards room, you can hang out on this side of the room and just kind of chill like I'm doing. So I haven't read the paper today, so I'm taking in the New York Times. This is our entry table, and I love how large this table is, and it's very ample. Now this creates the first impression when you come into the home, and I've created sort of a tableau here of some of the collections from our homeowner, and I always like to put a floral display of some sort. I love orchids, so I really anchored this here in the center with large orchids and large leaves, just for a little bit of a tropical feel. This, I should point out, is large enough to be a dining table. So if we need extra seating, the homeowner can add in 8 extra seats, as you're seeing a couple seats there, to accommodate even more guests in his house. So this is the dining room here at the Rand Mansion, and this rug was actually the inspiration behind this room color. It's actually a copper color, which is a really rich color, and I like it because it gives the room an intimate feel, especially with the large dining room. And also it helps to pop the art off the walls. And if you look around, there's quite an art collection here. So we are set up for a dinner of 8, be an intimate dinner. The homeowner loves to entertain, so you're always going to find some level of comforts here at this house. So love that he has it all set up and his guests will be arriving soon. So if you liked what you saw today and enjoyed our tour, I would love the opportunity to work with you. Contact me at willbrowninteriors.com and I'll be in touch.